Yeah, it's going to be a detrimental if I don't hit my minimums, and I'm off by quite a bit.
Mm.
But I told Dolly, I was like, I don't feel well, and she goes, just trust the process. It'll be all right. And I'm like, you say that so easily, but I have a feeling like, holy fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you just trust the process. I, it's like, okay, so we both understand that that we're ready to retire. She's admitting it now. She's like, yeah, because she enjoys so much spending now that the kids are gone. Now she's not spending as much time. Now that the empty nesters, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, and she hasn't gone through menopause. Like, she's not that old, you know? So in her mind, she's like, I still have life. You know what I mean? I need to go out there. And so we're talking about doing other things, but I kept telling her, I was like, I got to get rid of this house. This house is fucking $6,000, $7,000 a
It's just
month.
draining
You
you.
know, it's draining. Do I
Yeah.
love this house? Would I buy this house in a heartbeat? Of course. This is my home. I've been here. This is the nicest house that we've lived in, and it's perfect for us. We've had a nicer house, but it wasn't perfect for us. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the nicest house that we've lived in, and it's actually perfect, bar none. There's very small things that I would change, but other than that, this is a nice house. I just don't see myself paying the fucking market value, for this place. But at the same time, now I'm in a position to where I don't want to continue spending this money. You know,
Hmm.
yes, I generate it somehow. Somehow you know, it always comes through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where we talked about manifestations and everything like that. I've been living
Hmm.
on a whim here, literally for about 3 years, like not knowing how I'm paying things. There's certain things that I just said, fuck it, I'm not paying you forever. Like, you're gone.
Yeah.
There are certain things that I said that was stupid of me. I'm not gonna waste any more money. I can't sell it, so I'm just gonna say, fuck it, let it go. I have done there are certain things that I've done with that. People are like, oh my God, your credit. I've never had good credit. I don't give a shit. There's nothing I can't buy with 50% down anyway. So I am living proof that I have had all the toys and all the fucking joys, and I've never had fucking good credit because I
What's
made
worse?
sure I made sure Sebastian and Gabby have impeccable credit, and I showed them what they can do versus the stuff that I can't. You know what I mean? Once again, this is why you shouldn't do this. You know, my dad never taught me that. My dad never. Plus, not to mention that I'm also fucking crippled. I'm not blaming him only because I did do a lot of it myself, at least 80% of it. But I have the same name as my dad, and my dad
Mm.
had never had good credit, and every time he had something, he would always fuck it up. So my name is tarnished 100%, whether it be fucking, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's hard for me to get, like, my highest credit card balance is probably 2 grand. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be. I
I,
wish my highest was only 2 grand.
you see what I'm saying? You probably got 15, 20,000, 15, 30,000. I
Yeah,
know
I
my
got some big
father-in-law's got
boys.
a $50,000, line of credit. And I'm like, I need one of those.
No, you
I need,
don't.
well, here's the thing. I was talking to
Why it was? It's usually about 250. And I was like, why is it in the threes? I was like, oh, well, you did have the AC on with the windows open for a month while they were scrubbing the air.
yeah.
So I'll just kind of take it for what it was. But yeah, $700 light bill, and so we're at the big boys, big sisters, our big brothers, big sisters um, event, and they're talking about the amount of money that FPL has given to them. It's like, yeah, they just donated $1 million to this organization. I was like, bitch, why is my light bill 250?
Yeah.
You got $1 million to give away. Why's my light bill 250?
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. You know, I don't know.
I don't know how the average lower middle class person is getting by right now.
We talked about Like the other day, I went to Publix and bought like 4 things, and it was $130.
I don't know
Um,
I don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know. Listen, dude. I make a decent amount of money, and I am broke dick. So I'm thinking, how the fuck are certain people doing it? I really had no idea.
Mm.
I have no idea. It's we all have our levels of broke, of course. I have
Mhm.
whatever it is that that's my determination. But I also understand that uh, it's all me anyway, too. Though I choose to be like this right now because I'm trying to consolidate down. If I have the money, I'll just
No,
start blowing it anyway.
no.
I'm trying, but because once again, I have the work, I have the means of getting it. But I'm choosing to spend more time not making the money than anything else. But I'd rather fucking. I told my wife the other day. I was like, in order for this shit to work, it's like we got to start making money on other things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't. We can't rely so much on aviation. I can't, especially after what just happened. For example,
Mhm.
God forbid, dude. God forbid, I would have really fucked up, right?
Mhm.
You know, if it put a perspective on me. I'm like, I depend too much on this income. I shouldn't. I should not. I preach about that shit all the time. The little bit of money that I make on the sides is not enough to sustain my living here.
No.
I could
That's a big
probably,
deal.
I could probably go get a fucking. If I can get a 55 and over, I'm not there yet, But I'm saying, I know that if I in a 55 and over condo, I can get in there for about 100 grand, and yeah, sure, I can live peacefully with $6,000-7,000 that I bring in every month over there. But
Mm.
you know, I I don't
Yeah.
know. I want to travel.
We
We,
had the
we we both know.
conversation like way too many times. And I think that's why I ultimately wanted to be out of trucking, is because if I made an egregious mistake, then people could come after me for everything that I've ever worked